Welcome to another Dogecoin update. So as you can see, we just had a pump. We went from about 10 cents to about 14 cents and now we're getting a correction. Now I don't know if the top right here is already in the C wave because we did not quite get to the 200% extension, and maybe that's what we're doing right now, but I cannot really confirm that we will get to the 200% extension because theoretically you could say that we already have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup. So theoretically, this is a 5-wave move, which is good, but, I kind of want Dogecoin to get around 15 cents and get to the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup right here to complete this third wave move to the upside. Now, if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world because at the end of the day, this is only the 4-hour chart, so it does not really have to respect these levels perfectly, but, it would be better if it did go to that level. If it does not go to that level, then I can still confirm that this C wave right here is in and that the third wave right here is also in. Now, just to remind you what this is the third wave of this 1-2 setup that we started on August 5th, 2024. And as you can see in this third wave, we went up into an A, B, C structure. And right now, like I said, I'm expecting a correction, which should get to maybe the 0.618 extension. But of course, we don't have to go to these levels. The 50% extension is enough, considering the fact that the second wave moved down, went to the 0.786 support level. So maybe we will only drop the 618 or the 50% extension. If we drop to the 0.786 level, it's going to be very likely that we invalidate this whole setup. And just a reminder, if we do drop below the B wave low right here, we will invalidate the ABC structure, which would not be good. And if we do invalidate the ABC structure, we will also invalidate the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup because, you have to keep in mind the first wave high is right here. So matter of fact, we are not even supposed to go to the 0.786 support level because the first wave is right here. So we should stay above the 0.618 level. If we drop below that, as you know, the fourth wave is not really allowed to touch the first wave price action. So yeah, we should stay above the 0.618 extension. I'm just going to get rid of the 0.786 level and I'm going to make this red. So if we drop below that, yeah, it's going to turn into some kind of different structure. Now, Dogecoin is still looking bullish. As you can see, it's above the bull market support band and we are about to have a cross very, very soon. And this is going to be a bullish cross because as you can see, the green line is about to go above the red line. And that's usually a bullish sign because if you look at what happened in the previous few times when the green line went above the red line after it was below it for a couple of months. For example, here we went from 8 cents to about 23 cents after that happened. And let's continue. I mean, here we had a cross. We did put in lower lows, but then a few weeks later or months later, we went from about 5 cents to about 10 cents and then to about 24 cents or so. So yeah, usually when we had a cross, we go up after that. And right now we have not even had a cross and we are already going up. So this is a good sign. But like I said, we have to respect support levels. And as you can see, right now we're above the main support level of the second wave move down right here. So in my opinion, we need to stay above that and we need to stay above the bull market support band as well because we got rejected by it multiple times. We got rejected by it here, 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 and even here. So, if we want to turn bullish right now, we need to stay above the bull market support band and we also need to get a fourth wave move down and then a fifth wave move up to complete a 5-wave move to the upside. Once we get these 5 waves, I will finally be able to confirm that the main second wave move down right here is in. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is the main second wave of this 1-2 setup that we started with. Actually, we started it right here in June of 2022. And yeah, this is a 1-2 setup. And now I'm expecting a third wave move to the upside. And once we complete these 5 waves to the upside, the yellow waves, these will complete a first wave of the main third wave move to the upside. Then of course, after we get the 5 waves, you can expect an ABC structure to the downside for the second wave. And then what comes after that should be very, very bullish because it will be a third wave of the main third wave. And that's usually the most impulsive move of the cycle. So, that move could put us at like $1, maybe even more. All depends on what Bitcoin does and what the bulls are up to. Now, if you look at the monthly chart, as you can see, we just got above the yellow line on the other side, which is the moving average of the other side. And that's usually a very good sign because usually when we get above that level, for example, when we got above that level over here, as you can see, we did not do anything for quite some time, but then we got above it and then we had this huge pump. And what do you know? What happened over here happened at the exact same time of the cycle. So as you can see, this was a halving year. This was 2020. And in 2020, just like in 2024, Dogecoin was not really doing anything and it was just going sideways. But then it pumped in November. And what do you know? November is about to start, so maybe we'll do something like we did in this cycle right here. Now we have to keep in mind, Dogecoin topped way earlier in the cycle, in the previous cycle. There are some other altcoins. I mean, there are some altcoins that had a double top and they topped in November as well, but Dogecoin did not. And it actually topped when Bitcoin dominance bottomed. And speaking of Bitcoin dominance, as you can see, Bitcoin dominance is currently at 58.84%. It just put in a new cycle high just a couple of days ago, and it went to about 59.10% dominance. And I still believe that it will continue going up until 60%. And we could get there by the end of the month, to be honest with you. And once we get there, I'm expecting some kind of drop on the Bitcoin dominance chart that should look something like this over here. And while you know, this also happened at the exact same time of the cycle. Now, something interesting that I want to mention, here in the previous cycle, even though Bitcoin dominance went up in December, Dogecoin was not really affected by that. I mean, if you look at the chart, last cycle in December, Dogecoin still had a pump. So, if Bitcoin dominance starts dropping soon, I think Dogecoin will have a nice pump, just like the other altcoins. And Dogecoin, just like the other altcoin as well, there's also in a 1-2 setup, and it needs a third wave move to the upside, and a third wave move is usually the most impulsive, so for a third wave move, we kind of need a drop on the Bitcoin dominance chart. And in my opinion, it would be the perfect time to do it, considering the fact that in the previous cycle, we topped around December. So if we do not top in December, or actually if we do not top in October, then we will most likely continue going up until December. And then we will top, but maybe Dogecoin will already get some kind of move with the upside by December, because as you have seen from the previous cycle, Dogecoin can still go up when Bitcoin dominance goes up. So, we'll have to see what happens this month. If we do not top this month, it's going to be very likely, like I said, that we continue going up to like 60%, maybe even above 60%, and then we start dropping. Or maybe we'll just get a fake out like we got in the previous cycle right here. As you can see in November, yes, we did put in a new cycle high. Well, actually not a new cycle high, but we did go up in November, and then all of a sudden it dropped. So, this was a fake out right here, and then in December we got another pump, and that marked the top. So, of course, we don't have to do the exact same thing as we did in the previous cycle, because at the end of the day, the cycles are looking very, very different. Because in this cycle, we only went up in a straight line, and in the previous cycle, we did not. So, of course, we don't have to copy what we did over there one by one, So I'm still expecting Dogecoin to get to around $1 to maybe even $2 in this cycle. But, the minimum target right now is the 200% extension, and that is at about $1.42. So in my opinion, we should be able to get to at least $1.42 in this cycle, because that is the 200% extension of this structure right here. So we'll see what happens. Now, of course, maybe this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup. And if it is, maybe Dogecoin will only get like $1 or so, but that's still fine in my opinion. So yeah, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.